All right, go. Turn the music down in case, just in case that's too loud. And here we go. Welcome back to Painting with Crown. Here today, we're past this point. We're past the metallics, which is all I have on my desk apparently. It's metallics right now, and I've got the camera set up differently than how it was last time too. I don't know how I keep doing it differently. But here we go. What you all have been waiting for. The Marauders, as voted by you, for what would be the next thing that we would paint. This is what we chose. And I'm not beginning you guys because I didn't vote at all. Can I vote? I don't even know. This is what we're painting today. And we got a little bit of cleanup to do before we get onto the shading. And then we're in the home stretch. It'll just be a couple of lenses and stuff at that point. But let's look at what was done from the last. Hold on, let me see if I can fix the camera a bit. Maybe it's better like this. Maybe we'll come up real close, get it nice and close, like, and then paint like this. That is a huge hand. Okay, so yeah, this looks better. I don't know why I was doing it the other way last time. So yeah, what happened from last we met from last week? Uh, what we have here is the Marauder Destroyer. Nice little. I'm going to call it a close air support. I should probably read the lore on these specifically. I mean, so it's very similar to a Marauder Colossus. I mean, it's really identical, except this one's got a long, elongated tail. It's got the wings are different. It's reminding me of a warthog in a way, of an A10 warthog, especially with the nose cannons up at the front. Except it's got some similarities with the B-52 Flying Fortress or B-17, with the all these extra guns mounted onto it, and the Colossus also has, and the regular Marauder also have the tail gun and a nose gun. This one has a nose gunner. This one does not have a nose gunner. It does have the extra body there. And the only difference between this one and a regular Marauder is this one has the very large bomb, single use there, mounted in the bottom. And feel free to say hello. Say hello. Tell me what you're working on as we go through this. I'm just going to quickly explain what was done from last time. I believe last painting session, all I really did was get the base layer of everything, and then I kind of mapped out where I wanted to put the black, where I wanted to have these black segments. If you'll notice, the Marauder Colossus I have painted in a similar fashion to my these lightnings, but the Marauder Destroyer I have painted similar to my secondary color for the lightning fighters. I just have to wash it. I think all I need to do is wash it to get this color. So wings are different. The main body of the aircraft is this brownish color. This tan that I went a dark tan, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one where I have the wing tips are painted differently. I did go a little different with this one in having this black stripe is not going to be present on this one, but I kept the same theme with the tail flaps in the back, and then having one side black with the other side being not yeah. So similar concept, and the logic behind this one is I'm calling him close air support. He's got the Hellstrike missiles on him, and would be less ideal against aircraft, but better against ground targets. Whereas this one has the Skystrike missiles on it, as identified by being white tur with the red tip, and this being just red tip on metal. So this one's for air support. superiority. This one's entirely for bombing, but this one I'm gonna put missiles on, and it's got these guns. It's got these light AT guns on the front and this light AT gun on the back. So on paper, it doesn't do too much more different than the others. It's just do you want to continue bombing with this one, whereas the Colossus bomber is only going to have that one good bombing run? So I'm going to use this for painting up a little bit different and going to try to use it a little bit different. All right, man. I'll see you next time, Crota. Thanks for stopping in to say hello, though. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out. Hey, Toby, what's up? Good seeing you guys again. So yeah, last time we really just only had the white there, and what I did was I then, after blocking in the black sections, I finished that off with the black Templar contrast, and then I did the blue. And I think for this one, maybe I had to make that white again because I had already painted up to a certain point. I painted too far with the gray, that slight grayer color. So I had to fix that with white. Did the blue. Once the blue and the black were in, I then went ahead and this bronze is my first color that I do, and that is just what color is it? That is Balthasar gold that I do, and then I went in with the silver, and the silver is just what is it? Bulk gun metal, I think. And then following that, I did decide to do a little bit of gold there on the front and even on the back. And I don't really know how I feel about having this this gold for the ammo belt for the feed, but it works. It gives it a little bit of distinction. And I may at the end of this decide that I want to do the case of this black, give it that Black Legion contrast. And then finally, I did this darker Warplock bronze for the landing pads, landing struts. I don't know really what to call them, and I think that they are. I mean, there's probably an element of gravity here for these things because when you try to land an aircraft on just two of the, obviously it's not coming in for a landing. It's probably coming in for a hover landing, and a vertical takeoff, vertical landing at least, because there's no wheels anywhere. So these and that's not housing wheels. I know that for sure. I just don't know what it is. But yeah, these are landing struts that come down and out, come down and maybe forward or backwards possibly. But unless they kind of split and come to the sides, I don't think they're going to really be able to distribute like you're. I don't know. That's future technology. They must know what they're doing. So they probably have a plan for it. Or maybe they just don't plan on them ever coming back. Like you fly out there and that's it. But or they could get caught by they could get have a vertical hanging system from their aircraft. But enough about that. Let's start cleaning this guy up. We're almost to the finish line here. There's just a few things that we need to tidy up before we move on, and that is going to be putting us right back at the beginning of painting the Gracier right here. And before I start to paint it, I'm actually just gonna put it down and give it a little bit of I got a paint shaker, so we're gonna do that real quick just so that it's a little mixed up. How's everybody been doing though? How what have you guys been painting? What have you been working on? And what's on your table at the moment? How's your week been? I guess is what I'm looking to say. Got brushes everywhere, and I really kind of need at this point. I need a little bit more. I want to cover a little bit of area quickly, so I'm going to use a larger brush, but I'm going to be needing as I try to clean up that line along the blue, I'm going to need something with a little bit more detail to it. There's this guy though. So I don't know how that happened, but it did. I'm going to try to cover that up. That is quite a bit of dark. And then there's too much water on this, apparently. You can see that there's well, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of spot in here where the paint didn't stick. So right in there, I'm gonna try to get that done. And then in here, yeah, it probably didn't get a very good that you can kind of make out, and it's not gonna be too bad. 6 cryos tanks. What gun did you give them? The lightning cannon or the IRAD scour? Both have their use, but you're probably gonna. It's a tough one, really, on which are you more likely to run into needing. The unless I'm messing this up, the lightning cannon is going to give you more against tanks. Whereas the IRAD scour is going to ignore cover, and it has AP and things like that. Pop a quick look over here and see what I'm working with here as we talk about it. Not the Venator. Did you do them as Venators? So the lightning cannon, is just AP -2. And that works against infantry too, but it doesn't have as well to hit. Whereas the IRAD scour, you lose some range and you lose AP against tanks. But if you're gonna shoot it at infantry, you do get ignores cover, and that is very helpful when you've got infantry in cover. So personally, I have 3 of them like that. I have 9 of them with the lightning cannon. What was the name of that blue color? The lightning one? Maybe next time the tank hunter. The Talisar blue, is that what you're talking about? That is what I'm using for the blue. So you made yours you made yours with you made the lightning cannon ones, is what you're saying. Got it. Good choice. I think you need that. The lightning cannon is there's not a lot of the mech doesn't have a huge amount of anti-tank weaponry. And when I say anti-tank, I don't mean that it has to have the anti-tank keyword. Just it has to be able to work against tanks. Because the light AT does not retain its armor piercing nature against tanks. Whereas anti-tank does, but so does just having nothing, like the lightning cannon does. They've got a few things, but there's really they really don't have their own version of a super heavies, right? Like Bane blades and stuff, where you've got tanks with a lot of guns, and or objects with a lot of guns. Hey, Crayola, you can say hi.
Hello.
You're probably too far away for them to hear you yet. What's up?
Nothing. Dean's excited about this.
You're not supposed to say his name, though.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you messed that up. He doesn't really have one.
Okay.
Master Chief.
Master Chief has very excited about the trophy. And I need to go do the thing for the group stuff.
Okay. So you're taking him to the store?
I will just go up to Jackson. I will just go up to the store.
Okay.
Do that one myself, and then I will do.
Are you not taking him with?
No, he's gonna watch.
Okay.
The little one.
Okay. All right. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Right. What was I saying? Yeah. So. Oh, she's gone. I didn't notice that you said hello. I should have told her that you said hello. Toby says hello.
Hello.
And you don't get a lot of anti-tank weaponry. You don't get a lot of AP against tanks with Mechanicum. They have a lot of light AT weapons, and those lose that AP. Mind you, it's coming from pretty much every walker and their infantry. Actually, their infantry has melta guns. It's such a short range, so it's hard. It's hard to have good firepower against vehicles for Mechanicum, and that is worth being aware of. Lightning cannon, on the other hand, that is a good source of. It's just it hits on four. It hits on fives. It's on fives, and that's kind of that's you need 3 tanks to get 2 hits, which I guess is decent. Which is decent when you think of it statistically speaking. The problem is sometimes the dice don't care about how statistically they're likely to hit a 6, and they just won't hit a 6. So from that angle, yeah, it's rough. All right, I think we're finishing up here. There was a couple of spots that I had noticed on here where this frame wasn't done, and I need that done before I move on. And then this will be the quickest live stream, the quickest thing we've painted live stream to had finish. Only 2 live streams, which I think. Did we do 3 live streams for the Shadow Sword? Or did it just take 2 live streams and I still wasn't done? But it also took, like, I painted this from live stream to live stream, as opposed to the Shadow Sword, which I was painting before the live stream and so forth. Hello to the UK. Sodorf, I believe, is how I pronounce that. How are you doing today? How's the weather? It is very hot here in the US, at least my part of the US. Big fan of my European audience. Did I say that wrong the first time? Big fan of my European audience. I am from like every country in Europe, so I am a mutt. My mother has traced our lineage. I know very specifically my father's lineage of our European ancestry. My mother has traced her side all the way back to which king? I'm about to say his name wrong. King William the Conqueror, which apparently I share that privilege with about 5 million other people. So it's a small elite club, but small nonetheless. And I guess everybody on the throne currently can also say the same thing. I'm not sure. First, you struggle with a profile. 2 dice with 5 up sounds not so nice. Mechanicum need the Ortonatas. Yeah, they really do. And I don't know the missile launcher on the Domitir. I always pronounce that one wrong. Did I pronounce it right this time? The missile launcher for the Domitar. That being only 1 shot on a 35-point model is rough. Just rough. And I think I can't remember if it was nerfed alongside. I think they did nerf it. So Space Marine missile launchers, very good. So they nerfed them. They nerfed Space Marine missile launchers, and Sentinel missile launchers I think also got nerfed, and Domitir missile launchers got nerfed. And Domitir cost way more than Space Marines do for their missile launchers. So, might have been a bit overzealous with their nerfing in that moment. They may have not considered all of the consequences of what they did when they said nerf all missiles. But here we are. Nerfed all the same. I don't think This brush really doesn't do very well for me. It covers the area I want it to cover, but it really just doesn't hold the paint I want it to hold. So then I end up not really getting as much as I need done. So I'm going to try this brush, which if I can get it to zoom in to focus, there you go. Kind of a rough brush, but it's still better detailed than some things. So we're going to use it all the same. Sodorf, what are you working on? What hobbies do you do? And how does that work? So after we finish these, I have to decide. We have to decide. This is a group effort, group project, teamwork makes the dream work and all. We have to decide what are we going to paint next. I could open the votes back up. I could open the votes up today after this painting session, and we see what pops up as an option. However, I am kind of interested in, so Lehman Russ's was the thing next on the list. Last I checked, that is where the vote is headed. Without the, if I had removed the Malcadors and said, not Malcadors, if I had removed the Marauders and said, hey, pick the next thing. I apologize if my voice sounds a little off, or if I have to cough a little. I'll try to not to cough anything. I'm coming back from. I am on the recovery from something, but so my nose is a little stuffy right now too. But yeah, so the Malcadors, the Marauders. If we removed them from the vote, the next thing to win would have been the Lehman Russes. They had been tied for a while with the Arvis Lighters. I only have 4 of them done, so I do need more done. It's just, I do need more of them done, but I have 0 Arvis Lighters done. Well, I think it's a grab bag. I think there's 4 of them that were, I can take a look, actually. They're right here behind me. If I lean back. There's 4. Yeah, there's 4 Vanquishers, and there's 4 Exterminators or Executioners with the plasma foil. And then I've got a bunch more that I need to paint, to build. I also have Malcadors that I need to prime. It's too hot and humid for that. And as you can see, there's a couple of Bane Blades, but I'm a little bit super heavied out from all of the Shadow Swords. And I only got 2 of those. So, I could finish them off and we could be well on our way to having all of our super heavies until more are purchased, which I'm not allowed to purchase because I still have all the Gray Shame. But we're working towards cleaning that up. So, we're getting there. There's also the I don't know what I was about to say. I do want to do a video of, I do want to show you guys all of my Gray Shame at some point. So we'll do that soon. But, this needs to be, I'm going to do white next. This white scar. I got to clean up this, I got to clean up these, I forgot about them, which I guess it's fine that I forgot about them because look how messy I was trying to get into these vents for the engines. So I need to clean that up so that we can do the blue. So this needs to be shaken. So I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, so we got a couple of the different Lehman Russes. There's also the Arvis Lighters. I have no Arvis Lighters yet done. I still need to build some Lehman Russes. There's I've got it written down back here. I think there's 20 Lehman Russes to do total. There might be more. There might be more, and I might have just thrown an estimate up on the number on the wall. Um, I have no Arvis Lighters, which means have no flying transports. I only have 6 Dracusons done so far, and that allows me to transport because of their loadouts. It allows me to transport 16 guys. If I do all 8, I think there's 8 of them. If I do all 8 of the Arvis Lighters, I'll be able to transport another 16 guys. And if I do that, then I will be able to fly people in. The Dracusons, they're a little bit slower. They're still fast. They're a little bit slower though, and they hit any wall that is in between them and the destination. Whereas the Arvis Lighters, you can fly them back there, drop them off. You can fly them wherever you want. That doesn't have people. That doesn't have something sitting there. You drop off whoever you want, and now you've got people in the back line. Very handy to have. Very handy option to have available to you in the middle of a conflict. The downside is the things that they're probably going to be dropping off are either waiting a turn to get into close combat because you can't charge out of the vehicles, or they're just shooting las rifles. Yeah, the lighters probably die very fast. They're only 10 points though. You fly them in, you drop off, and then you die. Oh well. You absorbed some firepower. That was your goal. You don't really use them for anything else past that point. The real downside, though, as I was saying, you're only bringing in some las rifles, and that's not going to really do any damage. That's not, so you bring them in to hold ground. Well, you don't need to bring in a lot of them to hold ground. You just bring in enough to hold the ground. If you're not trying to use them for any kind of firing back, I mean, they're not going to take anything out. They're not, you could put some melee units in there, and they'll be really good melee units because all auxiliary has is really good melee units, but they're going to die. They're fragile and they'll die, or they are, or they're just waiting a turn. They're gonna wait a while. They gotta hang out. They gotta just chill and wait. And that could work. You could draw them behind the building, and then the next turn they charge. If assuming something stays there, so it's just you're kind of planning to wait. It's kind of like in Dungeons and Dragons, the Honor Among Thieves, when the guy says when the main character is telling the druid, I don't remember anybody's name, it's like, what do? I make plans. Well, we have a plan. Well, if something happens to that plan, I make a new plan. So you make plans that fail. Kind of like that. Kind of feels that way. You're kind of planning to look for a plan, which is what you got to do sometimes. You need a reaction. You need a way to react to the enemy, but it's setting you up for failure in that you don't have a basic plan to go to with these guys. Solar needs the Aurochs and Carnodon tanks. Those would be helpful. And they also need Velatari Storm armed with ranged weaponry. Velatari are not just axemen. Velatari are veterans armed with the better weapons. So, give me some Velatari armed with Volkites. Give me squads of Volkites and other weapons where I've got, and I'm not saying that they should be, hitting extremely well. I'm not saying that they should be wiping Space Marines off the board, but give me something that can do a little bit better, and give me something that has a little bit more punch to it. Give me more dice, or a better to hit, or an AP, a pip of AP, something. Give me something to make it worth the investment. And obviously, they'll cost a little bit more points. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. And have them have let them have Ogren with ranged, Ogren toting heavy weapons. Ogren that are toting around these bipod weapons, weapons, team weapons, like it's nothing. And oh, look at that! Look at that! Now we got a little bit more firepower. That'd be nice. It'd be nice. I'm not saying. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm asking for much there, but that'd be fun. And then I could drop them in with my. I could imagine I'm playing Black Hawk Down, and I'm dropping in these. Units of rangers and stuff. And I'll probably paint them up a little bit differently. I'll probably give them more black. I'll paint them like the Onyx Blackguard for these guys are themed off of COG. Yeah, a good plan never survives the first contact. But if your plan is to use these guys to come up with a plan later, then what's your plan with some Terminators? You deep strike them where you need them. What's your plan with melee units and aircraft? Well, maybe I need to drop them there, or maybe I don't know. I'm just rambling here. It's just ramblings of a madman. What we got right now is an aircraft that can drop in, an aircraft as cheap as Rhinos that can drop in units that aren't really worth much at doing anything, at taking ground. And all they can do is take ground. I mean, I guess they're good. They're cheap. They're cheap. And that's nice. Just don't expect them to do much. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. That's another one. I'm trying to remember if Space Marines need anything at this point. I guess more. I guess I'd like Terminators with different weapons loadouts, like basic Terminators, right? So like I want melee Terminators, and the current Terminators don't have. None of the Terminators have rend because they're all armed with guns and stuff. Give me some power, lightning claws and thunderhammer Terminators where they have some rend. And by me, I mean my opponent, right? Because I haven't worked on any of my Space Marines yet. That'll be next. So, what do we do? Is it going to be Layman Russ's? Should I put up a vote, which will probably be Layman Russ's, or should I just go ahead and do the Harvest Lighters to provide that option for me to fly them in and drop off a bunch of guys? And of course, when they inevitably when they give us Velatari with some ranged weapons, then I'll already have my King Ravens ready for takeoff to take those Storm in there. Both good options, I think. It's hard. I don't find myself too excited about the Layman Russ because only having one wound just makes them feel very like all of the solar tanks have 3 wounds, and that's awesome. And not 3 wounds, a 2-up save, and that's awesome. And none of them have. I don't know why I started that sentence that way because that's not. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. That's accurate. All of them have a 2-up save. Awesome. And now that they all have that 2-up save, the Malcadors just like, oh, I failed to save? Cool. I get to keep my Malcador, though. You didn't do 2 wounds to me. You only did 1. I get to stay alive. I get to use this again. Oh, now I lose it because you did 2 damage. Like, having the same save really makes the Malcador feel better. And it's got more guns. And it's got, I don't know. I really like Malcadors. I really like the Malcador. Whereas, like, when I play Mechanicum tanks, it's just like, oh, These things die so easy. They have a 3-up save and only 1 wound. Oh, I'm not surviving anything. You shot at me? Let me take those off the board. Are you charging me? Let me take those off the board. We are leaving the board. We're not here for a long time. We are here for a good time. And that good time is rolling no 5s or 6s when we fire the lightning cannon. That's just how it feels sometimes, you know? Layman Rust versus Malkador depends on loadouts. Oh, it always depends on loadouts. Always. Because you could do a Malkador that is you could do a Malkador. I have 4 of them that are well, that's not true. I have 2 of them that are all las cannons. And by having all las cannons, whenever I see a Titan, I know how to get rid of a lot of void shields. But if I want to do damage to the Titan, well, I need those Vanquisher cannons. That's where the real pain comes in. Absolutely, that is how it works. That said, I'm still going to build a Layman Russ with all las cannons because maybe I need one. Maybe that day that's just what they have available to them. A lot of times in conflict, you end up having, the best tank for the job is the one that you had available. And I like to think that Legions Imperialis feels very much like a historic game to me, right? Not because we're reenacting history, although you could say that because Warhammer 40K is set in the future compared to Warhammer 40K, Legions Imperialis is set in the past. No, I like to think of it as a historic game in that the vibe of it, right? In a historic game, you're not playing to win, you're playing to recreate something. And in this case, we are recreating fantasy battles. We're recreating things that were never actually created. We're recreating science fiction wars, and in real war, you don't have the most optimized unit that you were able to get for 2,000 points. In real war, you have the units available to you. So in this recreation of a realistic recreation of a science fiction game, part of that realism for me is not being able to take the best tank for the job, but taking the tank for the job that we had on hand. And I like to think that that's, I've given my Warhounds, the loadouts that I think are interesting and provide options and will allow me to, fight in any phase at any point in the game and still be able to do something. And, if they're not magnetized, and if that means that I can't change their loadout for the next battle, where maybe I know that this other loadout would be better, well, that's fine because they didn't have time to get back to the hangar and get re-outfitted. So I do like it that way. Yeah, some of them you probably won't end up using like that. Some of them, I'd like to play the big games though. If you've seen them. I do the 15. We did the 1,500 point battle where I just had everything that we owned, and in that case, they'll all get used. And at some point, I'll have these Layman Russ all las cannon Layman Russes sitting on the field, and I'll be thinking, oh, uh, these are the only ones I have left. I really wish that they were Vanquisher cannons, and then I would be doing a lot more damage right now. But they're not Vanquisher cannons, and that's because that's what was. That's just how it is. Just how it is sometimes. But it doesn't bother me any. But I get to, I have that luxury because I play really big games. So yeah, sometimes they'll just sit on the shelf. You like the Falcon model because you can change the top, so you have both versions. Yeah, I had heard about that. I haven't seen it in person. I mean, I've seen the Falcon in person, of course, but I haven't seen it like with the removable top. So I'm not exactly sure. I have a vision of what I think the words you're saying mean, but I could be off. Like I'm imagining like you've got some amount of this that you can just pop off and take away, and then you put this other top on where it doesn't have that. But maybe it's just this bit or something, like maybe does that extend the whole body or is it just a smaller section? Not exactly sure. But yeah. What do you all right. So I see Toby is suggesting I don't know what that symbol is, Mr. Mako. I assume your name is Mako. Um, I don't know what that symbol is where you say number of lighters. Uh, which Marauder version do I prefer? Tartaros Terminator. Ooh, the Marauder version. Uh, I really like the Colossus because of the big bomb. But I'm kind of liking this Destroyer. We went to an air show, not last weekend, but the weekend before, and I've been to a bunch of them, but like my 5-year-old was just all about like he loved it and stuff. So the close air support nature of some of those aircraft, I really like. I'm kind of in like that answer will probably change later, right? But right now, I'm really liking the close air support of these guys, and that's how I need to build. I need to read it. I need to read it and see how it is. But I'm thinking that that's how I'm going to use mine. Uh, and I need to see what that is. But yeah, so for now, it's these guys. Is my favorite. These guys is my favorite. But I think there's only really there's four options, right? There's the standard. There's the destroyer with the extra tail and this up at the front, and then there's the Colossus, and then there's the Pathfinder. So I'm gonna go with these guys as my favorite. I only have the Colossus and these guys. Um, the Colossus has a bit of a resin piece for the big bomb that you can't even really see. So as a kit goes, like, it's a really poor justification for spending an extra $15 on it. So I like this one doesn't cost more. It has a different piece to it. I think it has the same bits in the box to build the regular one too. Like I think the tail is the same. I need to double check that. So I think I have some parts that I can use for wreckage, which is really cool if you think about that. And then there's yeah, so between like this or standard are really the only two options that you could go with for like the modeling point of view, because the other one it's just and like I don't really think you're getting a lot for what you're paying extra, considering most of it's underneath and you can't see it. And I'm trying to catch up here. So I think, and then you ask which Tartaros Terminator. Oh no, you're not asking about Tartaros Terminator. Yeah, Tartaros Terminator as the melee Terminator. I think that'd be really sick. I just want a melee Terminator. If they make it the Tartaros, like awesome, the Cataphracti, or do we already have the Cataphracti? I think we already had that. So between the two, I guess, right? Uh, Lighter than Layman Rust. I think that's what we're gonna do because I think I can do the lame. I think I can do all of the lighters real quick. I think I can do them in the same time frame that we did these, and then the Layman Russes will probably be like an ongoing production of like churning out multiple Layman Russes over the period of time. And then let's see. Then I already kind of read that. You like the Falcon model because we already read that. Not sure what came up your end, but was supposed to be a vote for the flying transport next. Arvis Lighter. Yeah. So we'll do the Arvis Lighter next. That's the only flying transport these guys get. But I think there's this weekend. There's supposed to be the Las Vegas Open or something. There's something going on. I can't. I saw it. I saw it the other. I saw it today, I think, and I commented on it. And I asked if they were going to preview anything for Legions Imperialis because people were asking if they were going to preview like Horus Heresy or anything. No response. But like, I think we're due to see previews soon. And if not, we start a riot. Yeah, that's the plan. We're all going to start a riot. I think I'll take your silence as a yes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Right? Yeah. So I'm hoping that we see something this weekend because it has been a minute since we have seen anything for Legions Imperialis new. And while my bank account does slumber peacefully because of this fact, I think it'd be good for there's a certain amount of rest and respite that's going to be bad for the hobby, bad for the game, for the sub game, right? If there's nothing new, you already got people that were saying that the first, every time a new book comes out, they say, "Oh, this is it. Legion Imperialis is done. This is them, the final nail in the coffin." It's like, no, it's not, because here's another thing coming along. But eventually, if they stop making stuff, eventually it will be true. So I'm hoping that we see something new. I just don't know. I'd have to get. I'd be taking guesses as to what it would be, though. I have no concrete proof, no concrete evidence. I was thinking earlier today, it'd be really cool if I was a time traveler, not for big things, just for little things. If I was a time traveler, I could bring models. I could bring models from the future to the week that they are being announced, and preview like entire painted armies of the thing that's about to be announced Saturday. That'd be so cool. May 21st is a 10-year Warhammer Skulls event for games, etc. Maybe we become a release date for Dawn of War 4. Ooh, Dawn of War 4. We don't have a release date for that yet. We have like knowledge that it's this year, right? And I think there's maybe a quarter for it, I think. I was hey Pirate Roy, good seeing you. Big fat stack of updated unit cards would be sweet. Do you mean the cards, or do you mean do you want updates to the data sheets? You can't mean that you want updates to the data sheets. We just got those. Oh wow, that was almost a year ago, wasn't it? That's crazy. Not good. I didn't realize it had been that long. Time flies. End of the year. Yeah, okay. I think it'll stay at the end of the year, though. I was the other day, I was taking a look at we were talking just a minute ago about the big battle reports that I like to do. The big games I like to do, and then I turn them into battle reports. I was taking a look. I was on the internet and I was bored. I was on my phone, right? and so I was looking up. Uh, I asked AI what it thought of my videos, and it said that I do really big battle reports that feel authentic and make it feel like it is in a hobby store. I was like, well, that's probably because I'm playing in a hobby store. That's probably because I'm actually in a hobby store. But I'm glad that the hobby store felt authentic to the AI, right? Uh, so that was a fun little thing that I saw that I wanted to share. Um, Not really sure how much you can really how much information you can really get from AI in that kind of context. But there you go. You pretty much I feel like it's one of those things where you pretty much fish for whatever answer you want, and it's just gonna nod its head along, right? And provide like if I ask it the question the right way, like does Eagle Spire Gaming do battle reports against fish? It'll just find evidence to say yes, it does battle. I do battles against. I play games against fish. Thank you. I love the big battle reports. Need to do more of them. Oh, so I had an idea for a battle report. I was not able to play this last weekend, which means I ran out of battle reports. Right? Couldn't play because we. It's just not feasible for me to drive to a store every single weekend. And then next weekend, I'm actually going to be going camping. This weekend, I'm going camping. So no battle report this weekend either. But I had an idea, and I don't know. My kids get home in an hour. That's why Kai ist forbidden in Warhammer. Key is forbidden in Warhammer. Key? AI? Was that a? I'm guessing there was a mistype there. AI is forbidden in Warhammer. Yes, AI is forbidden in Warhammer. A little bit more specifically because of AI trying to take over the world or universe, or just wipe out all life. I'm not really sure what AI's goal was. I just know that it was not good. Um, so battle report. So I had an idea. I want to. I need to play. I can mix in. I can do more battle reports if I don't just play. It calls. Oh, okay, cool. What's the K stand for? Some word that translates to artificial, I guess, or is it something else entirely? If you don't mind educating me. But so yeah, if I play against my kids, if I play against Star and Master Chief, I can do more battle reports, right? I just played against Star, and Master Chief is has a lot of stuff that he's doing right now, so he is harder to get a game in with. And I just played against Star, so and what I do with Star, my games against Star are purely tanks, right? She plays purely tanks. Um, and I'm trying to build like a narrative with that, but also like I'm trying to just keep her, I'm trying to just not overload her with all the different things, right? So she's learning tanks, and Master Chief he's the expert of war since the age of 5, so he knows his way around a Covenant rifle, right? Um, okay, hmm, that doesn't seem to be redacted your message. The AI, they're onto us. So I can do more stuff with him, but also it takes a long time to do more stuff, and which is part of why it's nice to play like a small tank game. But I just did a game against her with tanks, and there's not going to be a lot of new vehicles for us to use. There's the shadow swords. So I was thinking, oh, maybe we'll just do knights again, but this time she has shadow swords, and see if she like with shadow swords does she just obliterate me? But I kind of felt like maybe I don't do that right away because because like, okay, if she loses again, it feels like that's not a feels good. And if she wins again, if she wins anyway, if she does win, it might feel like I'm throwing the game or whatever, right? Like I feel like there needs to be a bit more time in between it so it can feel natural and be well received. So as I was thinking though, I had an idea. She plays tanks. Master Chief plays knights. I play Titans in a free for all game. That could be fun. That could be real interesting. So I will leave that up here for you guys to chat about whether or not you think we should do that. I think we definitely should. I'm just wondering if I should try to rush it and get it out in time for Thursday. We might just have to miss this week. Like I was saying, just wasn't able to get there. But also, there's like we've got a bug going on in the house. In this house, Nurgle is trying to influence us, and his rot is we're in the process of cleaning that out. So it's just a little bit of time needed. I've been painting off screen the entire time, haven't I? I'm terrible about that. I apologize, guys. Appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching as long as you do. And if you're just tuning in, say hello. Don't be shy. What are you working on? What are you painting? Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that stuff so you know when we do more videos and you can, help the algorithm out with reaching new people and they can find out about this great channel, this great place to hang out and hobby and play really small games, really big games at a really small scale. Yeah, let's call it that way. But we've been talking about a bunch of different stuff here lately. Talking about what's going to be painted next, how we got to this point today, how we got to these guys. We've been talking about which ones I like the most, and we've been talking about what we think might be on the horizons. We talk about that quite a bit from time to time. Talked about my brushes and how god awful I treat them and how they are. Listen, don't call animal cruelty on me, but this is some animal cruelty that I'm doing to these brushes. These are terrible. But you know what? They get the job done, and I think that's part of the problem. Like I go to the store sometime and I'm like, oh, I need a new brush because my brushes are ruined. And I look at the new brushes, I'm like, none of these is really what I need. I kind of need a brush that's just like this thing here, where it's all flayed out and everything. That's just what I need for that right curve to get around these things. So I don't know. Maybe it's something wrong in my brain. Your buddy that has played the tank war has enjoyed it. The other night, you used Titans at his suggestion while he stayed on tanks. His actual joy at taking down a Reaver was great. I think he's hooked. Fantastic. When you say he played the tank game, or the tank war, are you saying that he plays Legions Imperialis with tanks? Or are you saying he plays some other game with tanks, like Team Yankee? Team Yankee has tanks. They're a little bit bigger than ours. Because if you guys made it so that he could, if you guys homebrewed something where he could play modern tanks versus your Titans, that is awesome. Love hearing about that. I have thought about doing something like that myself. Oh, okay, so it's just an all-tank battle, Legions Imperialis. Legions Imperialis tanks, all-tank battle. That's cool. Yeah. I was already. I'm about to repeat myself and say, yeah, that's what I like doing with Star. Me and Star love doing that. In our last video, I was like, hey, I got an idea for a joke. I'm going to say that I'm going to say that I've never told you about blowing up buildings. And you just say, wait, you can blow up buildings in this game? And I thought, that'd be a fun gag. She didn't know that you could blow up buildings. I was like, oh my God, I have failed. This was supposed to be a joke, but it's real. The joke became reality. That or she's just really good at acting. I don't know. Maybe she'll be a comedian. Tularan countryside. Ooh, yeah. I need to do. I want to do more terrain stuff, but I don't. I've probably told you guys this. I've probably said this 100 times. I have these ideas for terrain, these ideas for building things, and the thing getting in the way is I want to finish things systematically. So before I can do this big terrain project, like I built a bunch of terrain. It's fine building things, building buildings for me is fine to like put out there and have so I can use them. But like that's not interrupting the painting of these for whatever reason. But if I start to paint it, that interrupts me painting these. And because I want to paint all of something in a series, all of those buildings would take a huge time away from me producing the army. So I don't want to do that and end up waiting. It's going to take me months to do that. But I have these ideas for, like destroyed Titans and like crashed aircraft and, buildings that are partially collapsed with Titans sticking out of them and tanks and stuff, like all kinds of little ideas and like rubble. I drive by this construction. There's a bunch of construction sites on the way from where I live to ROE Games where I play John, and they've got like it's all these like dirt piles, big piles of dirt, uh, piles of dirt so big that they block line of sight for tanks, right? And they have like paths up them that like the bulldozers or whatever have gone up that you could put let me start more music again. So pathways up them that you could have like a base of infantry hanging out, moving up onto and stuff, and like we can garrison this. And then they have so there's that, and then there's this there's the big piles of dirt, and then there's like all these pipes stacked up, like stacks and stacks of pipes, where it's like, here's, so big pipe here, 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 right, like in a triangle. Yeah, so it goes like that, and then stretching out like 30-40 feet or something. I don't know. And I thought that'll make really cool like scatter terrain stuff, right? And it's probably something I could put on the side of the Legions Imperialis tiles. I could put it along the Legions Imperialis tiles and be like, yeah, this is where they were doing construction before this conflict started. This was where they were like working on new fortifications before this conflict started. Or this is where they were trying to clean up from the last fight before the new fight started. I don't know. Like, it's something that can tell a story on the table, and we'll work with that. So I got ideas for like, there's the extra bits that you get from all of the Titans that I want to do. And then, it's expensive. It'd be an expensive piece of terrain, right? But like, you could probably make a bunch of pieces for one single, if you buy like a reaver, you could probably make 2 or 3 pieces of terrain from that reaver. If you buy a box of warhounds, you could probably make 5 or 6, maybe even 8, up to 8 pieces of terrain from a single warhound. You could also just, without just from the scrap pieces, you could also make terrain that way. But like, then having the whole Titan kind of, having like the legs and everything kind of opens you up to some other stuff. Of course, you could 3D print it. I don't ever see 3D prints that I like that much. And then 3D printing in itself is like a whole nother hobby. It's like a second hobby to have. And I'm already dealing with the hobby of the gaming side and everything. I don't need to, and the hobby of making these videos. I don't need to have a third hobby of also 3D printing. So, oops, this guy twisted all the way around. Okay, so I think we're cleaned up here. I do see this now, so I'm gonna fix that real quick, and then I think we're gonna. I got to do the blue still. I got to fix the blue. Yeah, we're getting there. We're almost there. Where is the white? Excuse me. Okay, it's back here. So I think I know how we're gonna do that. I think it's gonna look. I think the color that I have. If you recall from last week, I did not remember how I got that brown, and I think this time I know what I need to do. I think I know how to fix this. So we're gonna give it a try and see if that works. And if it doesn't work, I will have ruined this model entirely and completely. So, you know, no pressure. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'd say something like, no, it's not going to be ruined, but I'm pretty confident that I'm pretty confident that I've got the color. I've got the right color. So I can't even say, no, it's going to be fine, because I can't even say it won't be ruined if I mess it up, because I don't feel like I'm going to mess it up. I feel like I've got this. I feel like we have the right color. I can feel the confidence flowing within me like a burrito. All right. There's one thing that I didn't do that I need to do. Well, that's going to wait, because I got two steps. First, I got to fix this blue, and then Gothic Sector Imperial World is great terrain. What is Gothic Sector Imperial World? Oh, or is it Gothic Sector Mundus Imperialis? Because I see that as I hover over the little button there, I see that there's okay, I can that okay. Kunststikel intelligence. Okay, cool. So artificial is that word, which I'm not going to say again and butcher. So Gothic Sector Mundus Imperialis is probably what you mean. Ah, the train from. Oh yeah, no, that's great stuff. I love it. I've got. I bought like 2 or 3 of those things. I probably want one more. I probably want one more kit, and then I will be all set. I hear children coming up the stairs. I don't think they're going to come up all the way. I think they're just messing around on the stairs, though. Okay, so let's do this. Blue. Oh wait, no, not that train. You're talking about from the last Battle Report. You're talking about the train that John. Yeah, that stuff's cool. That stuff is also cool. It is a little bit big. It is a little big. The buildings, and that makes it. That makes it. When every building is massive, it makes it hard for trying to balance things like garrisoning, because when you garrison something, you are when you garrison a building, you are saying that you can now move. When you sit here, you can move 5 inches in any direction. But when you sit in a building, you can move 5 inches from here, or 5 inches from here, or you create a much larger area of threat that you can move into. Now, if your opponent also has that ability, then everything's fine because it's balanced. It's balanced through the fact that everybody can do it. I have more infantry boxes than him, so I have more infantry available to me than him. So in any list I make, I could, without meaning to, very easily go way overboard on infantry by taking what I would even sometimes consider a very minimal amount of infantry. But also, just, then the tanks don't do so well. And we want the tanks to do well. We want the tanks to put up a good fight. They're supposed to be able to put up a good fight. All that work to paint it white is just for me to come in and cover it up. I think those wall sections that they came out with, that stuff is great. I want to see Warhammer. I want to see GW make some walls that function the same way. That would be fantastic if they did. Not the same way, but that I want to see them make a kit with walls. This is honestly trying to hit these engine turbines. Trying to hit that engine turbine and just make it blue is a lot. Takes a little bit more time than you're expecting it to sometimes. I see we got some new people in the chat. How you doing today? Don't be shy. We're all working on something. Or maybe you're just on a break from work and checking out some videos. I'm answering questions. Always answering questions. Always painting models. Always happy to help new players and old players alike. So I'm getting excited. We're almost at that point. We're going to run into a slight problem here soon, actually, because I'm about to drench these things in wash. And when I do that, it's going to be a little tricky for me to try and continue painting because they're going to be very wet. So I think at that point, what I have to do is I think we have to start on the Arvis lighters while we wait for these to finish. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. It's basically the same thing. And then we'll go back to them and finish because after I paint them, I got to do the wash and then we paint the cockpit, the things. Epic Sector from Fabricator's Lair. Okay, I don't think I've heard of them before, so that might be something new and interesting for me to look at. I don't like how that got in there. That was not supposed to happen. I got a bunch of blue in my thing here. So I think I'm gonna have to come back at that and clean that up. So that's unfortunate. Let's see if we can do this one without messing it up in the same way. What is that? So Arvis is translating to in numbers, in numbers, in numbers, which is very interesting. But uh, yeah, I think we'll be starting the Arvis today. Which means I might be finishing these off screen. And if I do, so be it, right? No big deal. We'll still have done, you know, a big chunk of them online on camera. And then what'll end up happening is the next live stream will be me finishing the Arvis ladders. And then you know what I really need to do though? I need to I'm gonna need to start priming some stuff. It's so hot and muggy today. I was thinking about this. Those Malcadors I have already built, they're not ready to be they're not primed and they're not ready to be painted. Uh I can't prime them right now because of how I apologize. Somebody tried to some spam artificial intelligence tried to call me and you know hack our lines. Um, yeah, so the I'm not able to prime them to get them ready to paint. And if I run out of primed things, I won't have anything to paint on the live streams. So I need to keep an eye out for a good day. I need to build some stuff. I've got the lighters that I've got the Malcadors that I can prime. But I need to keep an eye out for a good day that I can prime them, and I should probably build some things to have ready to prime so that when said day comes, I can get a bunch of things done all at once and not miss out on good weather. Oh, it's so hard. So hard to prime here in this state. One summer I had pit bashed a whole bunch of Space Marines, and I had put I'd cut their knees and I'd cut all their joints out to completely reposition them, and I'd used a bunch of green stuff to give them a tactical stance that is probably not practical with them because they're Space Marines, they're walking tanks. They don't need a practical stance. They don't need to brace. They don't need to keep a small profile because they're Space Marines and they're tanks. But I did it. I was young. I wanted to do it, so I did. And I did a whole squad like this. It was only 5 people. I did a 5-man squad. And when I primed them, the primer came out all dusty and flaky and not good. And it didn't hold the paint properly when I tried painting it, and it was just awful, right? So what ended up happening is I did what any sane person would do in a situation like that. I stopped painting for years. I didn't try to paint them. I tried to fix them for a little bit. I had I tried cleaning them with like simple green or something, and I had them in like a Tupperware to get them cleaned up. Good night. See you later, Toby. And when they came out, they'd fallen apart. All the green stuff didn't hold together anymore. The glue didn't, the glue came apart. So I just stopped painting for several years. It was terrible. Making a new tile for the table, the wind farm, rough terrain, with a few wind turbines, has the dangerous for flyers home rule. Oh, you guys show me pictures of that, Roy. Are you talking about like actual like wind turbines, or are you talking like something else? Or do they look like modern wind turbines, or do they look like something science fiction-y? I might. I don't know. I might need to check into that. I learned how to prime in the winter. I looked up a video. I looked up a video and it taught me everything I needed to know about trying to prime in the winter. So I'm using that. More some looking with a few add-ons. Modern looking with a few add-ons. All right. I was gonna assume, but I don't like assuming. That sounds really cool. Are you on the Discord? We'd be happy to have you if you're not. All right. That looks good. Oh, missed a little bit in there. Let's see if I can get it with a smaller brush. See if we can get it with this little guy right here. All right. So, yeah, this probably would have been better to do like that. I probably would have been better off using this brush, but I think it was taking too long, so I got a little hasty. But it's not good for the big flaw for this brush is it's not good for trying to put any paint on the palette. And if you're using it that way, it's just going to take forever. So what ends up happening is I gotta keep this camera on the spotlight on the right spot. So what happens is you end up having to crack open the palette, the paint bottle too much, and then you get frustrated with it, and then you don't want to be using it no more. And then you use a bigger brush and you make a mistake. Okay. All right. I do not want to have to change out my brush. I always change out my water and my brush when I do when I use metallic paints, because the little flakes of metallic will end up in my water, and then I will have to clean it out before I can try to switch something over. And in addition to needing to fix these guys, I did not remember to get this section here. See down here how it's metal? So I need to get metal right over here. So I need to fix that real quick. And I need to fix the bronze. So I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this without having to clean out the water, because if I clean out the water, pardon the noise real quick. If I clean out the water, I have to leave the room, and then you're going to be sitting here in the dark with nobody knowing what's going on. So we're going to try to do this without doing that. And honestly, that bronze color that I have, I am running out of. That stuff is pretty much done. So I might need to, this is way more than I needed. And then I need to do the tile. At some point, I got to get to those tiles. This is way more metallic than I needed for the amount that I'm doing. I don't know why I loaded up my palette like that. I guess I can clean these up. Nope. Not much to clean up with these. They're just already good. Maybe I'll clean this up. Clean that up right there. How's everybody doing? We're working on our own projects. Everybody's got something to do. All right. There we go. There we go. See? And like that, I'm done with the metallic, and I have way more on my palette still. Can I use it back here? And I just put the brush into the water. Remember how I said we're going to try to do this without sticking the brush in the water? We failed. I failed. I'll take full responsibility. That was all on me. I hear my kids downstairs. I hear Star. So, next battle report. 3-way free-for-all. How do we feel about that? Sounds good? I think that's what we're going to do. Uh-oh. I hear problems. Kids are complaining. Hey, Star, you want to come say hi to the... Oh, I didn't mean to. Teams of two? Teams of two could be fun. I don't have enough for teams of two. Well, I guess I do. Hi. Do you want to say hi to the people on the thing?
Yeah. Hi.
Well, not so high pitched. I'm filming, so this is a live stream, so they can hear you right now. So you say hello and tell them what you liked about the last time we fought.
When he won.
Yes, I won. What about the time before? Do you remember the time before that when you won?
Yeah.
What happened then?
I won.
Well, yeah, you won. Have you done any other videos since?
No.
Yeah, you have. What have you been working on? All right, I'm going to clean up the water and the brush. Hang tight for like 2 seconds. Oh, Pirate Roy from Australia says hello. Hello, Pirate Roy, hello. She walked in. All right, she walked away. Sorry about that. I had to clean the water. We are back. We are back. And you know what? I forgot that I needed to do the bronze still, so I probably didn't need to walk away yet. She took off. She just got home from school. She's ready to go do something else. She's ready to go outside and stuff. And her brother just did an awards thing today. They did an awards thing for elementary school, and it's elementary school, right? So he's graduating from 5th grade. Who cares? But Crayola wanted to get him a little balloon. I was like, yeah, go get him a balloon. And we were almost late because she went and got a balloon that came with a teddy bear that had a little graduating cap on. And so for that reason, we were almost late. And now she's come home and she's like, I didn't get one. Where'd this come from? Mom got it for your brother. I didn't get one because she had hers yesterday, but she's not graduating from elementary school. So that's why she didn't get one yesterday. Yeah. So I'm going to try and do this and remember not to use the brush. Not to stick the brush in the water again. We'll do that. How's it going, Charles? So, Mako, what I was thinking about doing I don't know if you were here when I said it previously, is the next battle report being a one player has Titans, me, I have Titans. Star has tanks, similar list to the previous one, except for Volcano Cannon, Shadow Swords. And Master Chief has Knights. And then what we do is we do a free for all, and that can be fun. And then, oh hey David, so good timing. I was just thinking about doing a recap. So if you're just tuning in, what we had last painting session, we had done all of the base coat for this thing. We got this nice gray on it. It should come out looking like this once we finish, right? So this is what we're going for. This is the bomber version of this guy. Close air support. The close air support squadrons of my air wing. So we were able to we got this coating on, and then we did we layered out where I wanted the black to go. We couldn't do the black because we ran out of time, but we layered out where I wanted it to go. In between then, I finished the black, I finished the blue, I finished the copper color, the bronze color, the silver, the gold. I did it all. I had to clean this up just now, the engine intakes. I had to clean those up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. The gold. I cleaned this up. I did it blue, and we cleaned up some of this gray color to get it ready for the wash. The wash is coming up, and then we are in the home stretch. I also did this on the underside. We got the little gold for the barrels and stuff. I think we might make that red. We might make some of these lenses other colors, but we'll do that after we do we'll do that after the wash. But once we do the wash, what we're gonna do is switch gears over, because while the wash is drying, I'm not gonna be able to do much. So we're gonna switch over to painting the Arvis lighters. And that'll be our next project. No vote for that one this time. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up all these other colors now. I need to clean this brush, and I can't stick it in there, so I will be right back for just a second. Now, the problem with love the Arvis, they're very useful. Oh, yes, very useful. So we had a conversation about Arvis lighters, and we talked about how I'm hopeful that they will announce some new stuff for us at this. They've got an event going on this weekend. I'm hopeful that they're going to announce new stuff for us. And we talked about a bunch of stuff. Kind of been all over the place talking about stuff. We talked about how I asked AI what it thought of my videos, and it said that my videos feel very authentic, like you're actually playing at a pub, or not a pub, but a gaming store, and how it feels true to the game that I play these big, large games. And it's like, yeah, because I play big, large games, and I play at a gaming store. So you're just repeating what's happening. But and then we had a brief talk about how artificial intelligence is banned in 40K. So I gotta clean this up. Like Templar, Sheik it, classic AI. Yeah, I see why Black Mage doesn't let us use AI in his game. All right. Maybe I will use this brush. noticed one thing I need to clean up here before we go on. We've gotten some bronze right there, so we're going to cover that up just a little bit. A little bit down there too. And I imagine I've got to clean it up on the other side too. So what about you guys? What are you guys working on? Mostly finished to commission, and then you get to go back to your beloved Legions Imperialis blueberries. I didn't know you did commissions. Did you hear about what's the commission that you're doing? Then did you hear about the pre-painted terrain from Warhammer? That was a surprise to me. I was so surprised to hear that somebody pointed that out to me, and I tried to tell. I was gonna explain to them like, yeah, that's probably fake. That might be something from like April Fools or something. When was this posted? And I looked, it was posted like last week. I was like, wait, what? No way. I don't know about that. But I feel like I feel like that's a great way to try to like find more money, to get more money out of your hobbyists, is the ones that don't want to paint or don't want to paint terrain. You probably mass produce that stuff. You probably mass paint it. And then it ensures that you're going to be able to sell it, or increases chance that you're going to be able to sell it. Because what does pre-painted terrain have that, trying to sell terrain is a rough market because people can just 3D print that stuff. But pre-painted terrain, you can't 3D print pre-painted terrain. All right. Subjecting yourself to hardcore survival mods for mod list for Fallout 4. You think you have a problem? Yeah. You might have a problem. Working on 2 Trench Crusade lads. Post pictures when you're done. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing them. Did not hear about the pre-painted terrain. I'll have to post a link to it. They've got videos. There's a video out there. That is how I found out about it, or what was linked to me. But okay, where are we? We're here. This is it, guys. This is it. Moment of truth. Is my plan the right plan? Is my plan on how we're gonna get there? How we're gonna get there. So, and I need a good brush for this. It would have been this brush, but this brush is ruined, so it's not gonna be that one. See, I don't hate painting. I just don't have a lot of time for painting. But I feel like I would want to. Oh, hey, Star, what's up?
Can we do the magical potion?
We can do that after I finish this video. Yeah.
When are you gonna finish?
We're scheduled to go for at least another 23 minutes, but we might go a little past that because I'm trying to finish these guys. You want to see how they look? The close air support? The other day, her younger brother, who does not yet have a name, maybe we'll call him Stencil. He asked if these were him. He asked if these were him. I was like, "What are you talking about? These are planes. These are not you. How do these be? How these be you?" Get him, Star. Crush him on the tabletop. You got this. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about her beating me at a game, not her just starting to WWE body smack me around and slam my face into the table. Yeah, so her younger brother was like, he wants to be these. He saw the Blue Angels fly for the first time and had the same reaction that I had when I saw them fly for the first time, and now he wants to be a Blue Angel. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that in a bit. The first one. Yeah. So I already told you about that. Yeah. So I told her about the plan. The plan is I'm not going to be able to do a battle report this weekend or this week. So Thursday I'll have to film something else. But I think the plan, what we're gonna start filming, because I don't want to rush it. The plan is to start filming a 3-way free for all. Not yet sure. Built most as annihilators, but fancy something different this time. Might do battle cannon demolisher and heavy bolter spawns. Building a couple of Malcadors. Awesome. Love Malcadors. People that hate painting will love it. It'll be interesting to see how the final pieces are. Yeah, they're probably I don't know. I've got pre-painted terrain for like Dungeons and Dragons, and that stuff's cool, but a bit different than this. So I think what we're gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the entire front half, maybe. I think we're gonna paint from here up. And we'll do one wing at a time, and then we'll do the body. So here we go. Star is watching. Star, read the comments if we get any.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Guys, give Star something to read so she can practice. I think that's working. I think that's it. I think we got it, guys. That's the goal. This is what we got. It's wet right now, but I think that's it. I think we did it. Oh, Star's going to have to leave because her brother's calling for her. All right. What's the secret to making this stuff work? Lots and lots of Agrax or shade, like any good painter. And then I have to find the missiles and do the missiles too. Those will I'll tell myself that those will come later. Star's back. She can read the
Does
comments.
Star know she's famous around the world?
That's a question for you, Star. Do you know that you're famous around the world?
No.
Do you want to ask them what they mean by that?
What do you mean by me famous around the world? I like vanquishes myself. I did build 5 Malcadors with battle cannons. Hi, Star.
Read it out.
I am from Ireland.
Yeah. So David there is from Ireland, and that's in a different corner of the world than we're in. And then
You are not.
no, well, he said that because he said, okay, he said that you are not from Ireland because you said I'm from Ireland. Oh, those are landing pads too. That's probably how they do it. Okay, well, I'm not fixing that. He said that because
I am from United Kingdom.
yeah. So Mako said so. Feel free to do this however you want, honey. But if you wanted to say like Mako says, I'm from the United Kingdom. That way, it doesn't sound like you're saying that you're from Ireland and you're from the United Kingdom. So the joke he was making was you said that you were from Ireland. You said I'm from Ireland when you read what he was saying. But it's fine. He knows what you mean. We all know what you mean. Everyone knows what you mean. And nobody's gonna care one way or the other.
Flyboy says, birth in Australia it's 4:30 in the morning on Wednesday, January from the future.
Greetings from the future.
Greetings from the future.
So he said Perth.
What's the weather like? Very hot.
It's very hot. Oh. He says,
Sorry, I was unfair.
yeah. It's okay. It was a good joke. It was a good joke. It was a bit of a dad. It's a dad joke. It's like when you say, I'm hungry. And I say, hi, hungry. I'm dad.
Here you're asking, seems we've got quite the selection.
Yeah, 9:15 at night here. Oh yeah, so Pirate Roy is from Perth, Australia. That's where most pirates come from. Because Australia is inhabited entirely by thieves and criminals, and that's a joke because I'm quoting the princess. I'm quoting Princess not Diaries, Princess's Bride. The Princess Bride. Princess Bride. I don't know how many SSSs are in that movie title.
LOL.
Yeah, so it's not inhabited entirely by thieves and.
David says a lot of those criminals came from here.
What the others? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so once upon a time, Ireland was like what's the word? Colonial? No, a prison colony. So they would send prisoners there. They sent prisoners to a whole continent. They said, "Hey, there's a continent over there. Let's just ship prisoners over there." And now they are their own country and government. And
Charles says listen, colony and all that.
Princess Bride, great flick. Flick is another word for movie. Also
and
film.
UK.
And UK, United Kingdoms, yep. Yeah, so we got people all around the world. All right, there's like 160 countries in the world. And you've got probably we've got a dozen at least that watch your videos. So you are famous all around the world. And they've never seen your face. They've heard your voice. And they know that you're the Pink Power Ranger.
Private Boy says, those guys built some really nice buildings.
The prisoners? Oh. From the movie? Sometimes we get started.
Princess Bride is an amazing film.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a great film. You've seen it, right? I've shown you that. You haven't seen Princess Bride? All right, guys, we're going to end the stream there. I've got to go take Star and show her the Princess Bride. I'm just kidding about ending the film, about ending the stream, but she is going to have to go see that movie now. It's a great movie. You've never seen it? You got to be kidding me. Never. Never? Okay, well, so you aren't aware of Rods?
At least not now. She needs to see it.
Yeah.
Says David.
Yeah, you're gonna see it. Is it on Netflix or Hulu? We might have to go to the library and get the DVD for it. Fun fact, I don't know if this is true all around the world, but if you are in the US and you have a local library, keep it around. Go to your local library and rent a movie for free. You can just get a movie. You need a library membership, which is also free, and then you can just watch movies. You can get all the movies.
Charles says, I
Or the
only
movies are free.
recently realized that it's Peter Flake, aka Columbia, that plays the grandfather that's reading the story.
Yeah. U.S. libraries are amazing. I was only in one once, and it was super. You were only in a library once? I remember when I was a kid, we took field trips to the library. And you used to have to go to them to get books and stuff for research, and now you kind of don't need to do that because you can just research stuff online, but books are still great and libraries are still great, and the ability to just you might have to put it on order and stuff, but you can just get a book. All right. I might have hit some spots more than I needed to because I might have been paying too much attention to Star reading all of her fan mail.
A U.S. library I have been in libraries many times.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. I thought you were. For some reason, when I was reading that, I thought you were Charles, who is in the U.S. So him only being in a U.S. library one time would be dumbfounding to me. For valid reasons. But somebody from Ireland only being in the U.S. library, that would make more sense. There's libraries in D.C. that are not every library is equal, right? And if you're watching a movie and they have like those really big libraries, those are not. No, you can't hold it against me forever. I just told you not to. That's not how this works. When I say don't hold it against me, you're not allowed. It wasn't. That was not a request. That was commands.
You didn't say to hold it against him.
Oh my god! You don't have to, I'm joking. You don't have to get so defensive for me. She's on the attack. She's about to attack. Good job. Thank you, Andy. He's not seriously going to hold it against me forever. And and I didn't seriously think that he was going to. But that is the style of humor that some of us have, is to continue taking things to the next. Dang it, Star is mad at me. I'm going to hide. Don't forget, she commands tank battalions. She recently lost all of them against half a dozen knights, but she does command them.
Yeah.
Oh no! I never did the metallic for the bomb. I never noticed. Oh shoot! I've been painting over. I haven't been painting over the thing. Again, I am really bad at this. I need to get I need to get something that can like sit up and zoom in better. I never painted this bit. My natural place to paint is like, let's move this whole thing. My natural place to paint is like right here. So maybe I can fix this. Don't get dizzy, guys. Close your eyes for a moment. I don't want you to get. You don't need to see my gym shorts. Okay, there we go. Well, see, now I'm not. All right, this is good. This is good, right? There we go. Get that light a little closer, maybe.
I wonder where he's hiding.
Who? What?
David.
He told you he's in Ireland, so yeah. Let's not talk about that any further, because that's called doxing, and we don't want to do that. People will not be happy at us.
Did you like my dice picture? That was a real wolf. I had to throw out the dice when they did the same thing again.
Yeah, so he rolled 4 ones. No, that looking at that picture caused me to flinch in pain. It triggered PTSD moments. Actually, something happened in my D&D group the other day that I have not shared, because I don't need word of it getting back to Charles. But bad things are happening in my D&D game. Not my game, the D&D game that me and Charles are in together.
One of them landed on a plane.
Oh yeah, the where it was cocked up. Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, I've seen that. Nope, don't open Steam. That's not what we want. Here we go. Here we go. Where'd you post that? Over here? No. Over here? No. Over here? Yup. So there's his dice. Oh yeah. No, we're one sticking straight up. What's that other dice? One of them is an image. So you got a 1, a 1, a 5, and then Another dice that's just defying the laws of gravity. What is the image? Is that supposed to be the 6 side, or is that supposed to be the 1 side?
David says yeah.
He's referring. He said yup. I'm pretty sure he said yup to the question of this picture, right? Or something. I think I said that. So that's probably what he's talking about. So we don't know yet if that's supposed to be a 6 or
That's
a
a
1.
6.
Now we know it's supposed to be a 6. Yeah, that's well, that's good. So it wasn't completely bad. It was a 1, a 1, a 6, and a 5. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good numbers. Chat is delayed, and I'm slow at typing. No, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's telling you the chat is delayed.
Huh?
What? So nice and good, solid coating here. You got to keep it wet and moving and stuff. Once it dries up, then it starts to create little problem spots and everything. But overall, I probably need to jab some down in there too. I don't think I did that down there. She's waiting for the next chat to drop in. You know, I'll tell you this though. I was. What wash contrast are you using? I may have missed it. Okay, so this wash is Agrex Earthshade, or as some may call, skill in a bottle. Skill in a bottle. I think Nolan Oil is skill in a bottle or talent in a bottle, but is actually what I've heard it called. But Agrex Earthshade is like talent in a bottle 2.0, right? Not new and improved, just the other formula, the other talent in a bottle formula. And I don't care. It does the job. Oh, I see another spot that I missed. I didn't do the metallic there either. Okay. As many times as I looked over this and reviewed it and was like, okay, good, we're good. This is ready. This is ready to go for tomorrow. I was wrong. I missed stuff. But you know what? It's all the underside of the plane anyway, so it's like I don't know why you're doing that, sweetie. It's all the underside of the plane, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It not only does it not matter, I don't think it ever mattered. Like I did it on the other one, and I probably didn't need to do it there either. So yeah, I was telling everybody. Did I tell you? Were you in here? I asked AI. Do you know what AI is? What's AI?
AI is a type of
No. AI is artificial intelligence, and you can access it from your phone, but it's really more to do with the internet, right? And I guess programs. But it's some people will probably have higher praise for it, but for many of us, I'm going to make some assumptions that many of us view it as a tool that has been told a lot of information and then will essentially just repeat that information when you ask it things, right? And you can ask it to, hey, show me a picture of a man waving. And it will generate a picture of a man waving based off of thousands of images of a man waving, right? So when you look at this image, you might be like, well, wait a minute, that guy has 6 fingers on one hand and 3 on the other. And that's because AI is just looking at these pictures and it doesn't know how many fingers it's supposed to have. It's just looking at all these other pictures and saying, well, if that's a man waving, then I can do the same thing. Give him fingers, right? It doesn't care. AI, abominable idiocy. Yes, very true. So he's calling it abominable, meaning terrible, evil. I don't actually have the proper definition for abominable. All I can think of is abominable snowman. So off the top of my head, like that's all I got. Idiocy meaning dumb. But I was goofing around looking at it, and I said, hey, what do you like about my videos? And it said, and I don't remember where we're going for this, but it liked the battle reports. It said that the battle reports felt authentic and felt like I was actually at a store, and that's because we go to a store and I do battle reports. So nothing new there. And it said something else, and now I don't remember what that was, but something you said made me think about it, and I was like, oh, let me start talking now. And then I completely forgot. So there we go. It's a fantastic tool that often gets used inappropriately as a substitute for effort. Yes, it can be a good way to be like, oh, let me see. I want to draw a person waving. Give me a picture of picture of a person waving, and then you can take that picture and be like, all right, cool. And let's change this, and this, and actually generate a picture. But now I have like a baseline or something, To an extent, though, I do wonder, to an extent, when I tell my phone to start a timer, isn't that in a way, isn't that like an extension of artificial intelligence? Or where it's essentially it's doing the same thing, right? It's taking a pre-identified command and just applying it to the scenario. Isn't AI just a wider range of pre-identified commands with wider variance? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So there are definitely appropriate uses for it. Run this process essentially for me, but then it becomes an issue where people, as you said, try to use it inappropriately. Yeah, I don't know how I got onto that topic. It did say that every once in a while, perhaps every 30 minutes in my live stream, I should remind everybody, if you're liking this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, more content, say hello if you haven't already. You just missed Star was in here. She was reading everyone's comments. She has scampered off once again, looking for something to do. And as this is drying, I will get to it. And I want to finish this today on live stream, but it may come to as it does often happen with these kinds of things, it may have run away from me. And this needing to dry, I may not be able to finish properly. So once I finish this brown coat, right, this brown wash, I think it's pretty straight, pretty widely acceptable analysis that Charles has made. I did like the AI did tell me to keep making my videos. That's what it was. My AI, when I asked the AI what it thought of my videos, it said that I have a small but strong group of core followers, and that's you all. The AI identified you guys and said that you guys were my core followers. It didn't, not by name, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I was going to tell her before she scampered off. But yeah, and it also said that I should occasionally remind, for the new people coming in, remind them what it is we're doing here. And what we're doing is we're finishing these Marauders. So as I do the rest of this brown, that I have to be very careful, this brown wash, Agrax Earthshade wash, I need to be very careful where I touch because some of this is still wet, but I am trying to what's up, buddy? Hi. Trying to finish anyway, and I probably shouldn't. You are on the weaker side. You can't lift much. So once again, AI is wrong. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think it meant. While you might have a point there, I don't think it was referring to your lifting capabilities. I think it was really just providing the. I think it was just looking at and determining that The videos frequently have like it's almost never empty, right? It's rarely empty in here, and there's the same people that will comment and stuff. So I think it was identifying that. But I just found that interesting. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep painting this, and then once I do this, all I gotta do is the blue of the lens, and then we're really done. And I really want to finish that on screen, but I really don't think I can. We'll see. We'll see what we get here. But if I don't get it, it's like probably 20 minutes of effort. It's just going to be an issue of everything's going to be wet, but it's probably 20 minutes of effort for me to finish it, and then I'd be done anyway. So I don't think there's going to be a part. I'm saying it now. There will not be a part 3 to the Marauder saga. I don't like how this doesn't look very even.
My humor is just not landing. The joke will continue till more improves.
Morale improves. The joke will continue. The jokes will continue until morale improves. No, your humor lands. It's just I then answer the question and I then respond to it as though it hadn't, which is my humor. So my humor is not landing. I'm the one that's messing this up, and I need to continue with the jokes until the morale improves.
Oh, I have a joke for you, David. Want to hear it?
He does want to hear it. Go ahead and tell him the joke.
When did the person who lost their dog go to the dentist?
And now answer it.
Because he had a loose canine.
Oh, that's hilarious. Good one, Star. And almost done with this one. Almost there. I'm super happy with how these are turning out.
Welcome, David.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Welcome. Sometimes what you say does not sound like what I hear does not sound like what you probably said. I could have sworn you said poke 'em, and I was like, well, what are you on about? Yeah. Boo, boo. Wash this, and I've even after I've fixed the. Hey, were you guys able to see very well for most of this? I feel like I was probably not painting most of this time. I've probably not been painting. Anytime I look at the camera, I'm not in the screen properly. You know us, neurodivergent types. There's a non-zero chance we'll take what is meant to be a joke completely seriously, even if we know it was supposed to be a joke. I find that a lot of my jokes, maybe it's because they were to neurodivergent people, I find a lot of my jokes end up being taken far too serious at times, and I end up getting in trouble for it in the past. So I had to moderate my jokes and adjust myself to the people I was around, and I got in trouble for it quite a bit as a kid, and I'm just now realizing maybe they were all neurodivergent or just jerks. I'm gonna actually go with the latter and say that they were just jerks. I worked at. I'm not gonna tell that story, especially around you, Star. I don't need to tell a story about the time that I failed. That doesn't need to happen. So, one more song. Ooh, do we want to do this one? We'll get that started. So, we are coming up to the end here. I know you really want to go do something outside, don't you? What do you want to do, honey?
I want to do my magical potion.
Okay. Anything you want to do for 20 minutes before you go do that? Or you can just hang out. You can hang out. People don't mind you.
Well, the two aren't actually monetarily exclusive.
Oh, sweetie.
What?
Well, the two aren't exactly mutually exclusive. I don't know where you got monetary from. Monetary has an N in there. David is laughing, likely at you, possibly at me. I'm thinking it's at you. Yeah.
Oh, show them. Tell them how you say ha 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 and yes, Stitch voice.
Oh, you want me to do Stitch
Yeah.
voice?
Do
Okay.
your Stitch voice.
Okay. All right, chat. What do you guys think? Should I do my Stitch voice? She thinks it's really good. You may disagree. Stitch, of course, from Lilo and Stitch. This is a Warhammer painting and hobbying and war gaming space in the internet. This is one of the few sections of the internet that people can go to for quality Legions Imperialis content. And you're over here, do your Stitch voice. Do Stitch. That's what you're saying right now. Definitely want to hear it now. All right. Oh, jeez, what do I even say? Oh, now I'm put on the spot. I don't want to. Hold on. Oh, I want to be careful with how loud I go too, because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know what you guys. I don't know how it sounds for you guys over there. What are you? Oh, you're trying to read. I'm sorry. I tend to be pretty verbose and not very good at code switching. Made my tutoring days pretty rough. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that's a joke for.
Say it in your Stitch voice.
Say what in my Stitch voice? What? Louder. You want Stitch to say louder?
No.
No. Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgot. Nothing wrong with being wordy. You guys missed the dad. You probably missed the dad joke. I probably didn't do it loud enough. She said, "Say it in your Stitch. Say it in your Stitch voice." So I said it. Classic. Yeah. All right. What'd you guys think? I'll keep going. Did you like that? Was that good? Was it a good Stitch voice? It's one of those things where it might sound better to me than it does to you. It might sound better to her than it does to you.
Now that's my kind of humor.
Punch buggy. No punch back. You know, if I had started this YouTube thing, never showing my face and just always doing the Stitch voice, people would think this is Stitch doing Warhammer, right? I could have worn blue gloves. I could have had blue gloves on the entire time, and I could have been like, "Welcome to Eagle Spire Gaming. Today, I'm your host, Stitch." I've just been real weird with it. I'd have a completely different clientele of viewers, though. Thankfully, nobody really ever watches these after they're done.
How tempting it was to just type something when you said to give Star something to read.
That would have been funny. Okay, I think we're good here. Good. It's not the cleanest. It's not the cleanest, right? You can see like the little bits and stuff. You can see where it's not, different parts. But the nice.
You now need to do the three-way match with
A Stitch mask?
Stitch mask and doing the voice.
Okay. Everyone else is going to be like, what is going on? And I'm going to be like, so I'm going to have a 3-minute free-for-all with 2,000 points of tanks, 2,000 points of titans, and 2,000 points of knights. I was about to grab.
Does it pass the 3-foot rule dress up
3-foot
as
rule, yes,
Jumbo?
that's good enough. You know, I don't like good enough. I like great. But the thing is, I think it is great.
Have the other guys
Jumbo and
dress
Gantu.
up as Jumbo and Gina?
Gantu.
Gantu?
Gantu is. Do you remember who Gantu is?
I'm dressing up as Jumbo.
No, you'd be Pleakley.
I'll be Leela.
Lilo? What does Lilo say? My friends have to be punished.
Can I get a dog?
Okay. A
LOL.
little bit.
Charles
See,
says
that kind of messes
LOL.
it. All right, so get a little bit more in there. See if we can't fix that. So the nice thing about Legions Imperialis, the nice thing about this scale, the nice thing about my past experiences with working on aircraft is they get dirty, and they have these. They have, especially when you fly them like through shit. I have seen dirt and stuff that looks kind of like this, so it's perfectly fine. It's not the best. It's not the best, but there's a little bit of some sort of intake thing here, and that blast in this way, you know, might be not intake, but probably extake. I don't know, but that blast in that way might be why that's a little bit cleaner and stuff. And you get hydraulic fluids and stuff that start going all down everything, and it happens. That's too wet. So yeah, it's kind of got these weird patterns and stuff to it, and it's got these areas. That's exactly what we're looking for, though, where that edge is brighter than the rest of it. That's fine. That's fine. It's quite a difference. It's quite a change, and the other side doesn't have it quite as much, and is probably more what I was looking for. But it's fine because you know what? At the end of the day, yes, I'm going to be 3 feet away from this thing. And I'd show you, if I move it 3 feet away, you can't even see it because I'm holding it out to my right. And I didn't probably actually have to do that for them. They wouldn't have known if I was only holding it over here. But yeah, whatever. Bad joke. Don't give me that look. Okay. But, you know, it's dirty. It's grimy. It's just dirt. It's just grimy, you know. And you might be thinking, well, that's not how dirt would look on a car. It is when you sent somebody out there and they were cleaning that area or they were working on that area for maintenance or something, and they only really cleaned that side and they didn't really clean the rest of it. So it's perfectly fine. This is more realistic than you know. What would probably end up happening is somebody would say, hey, stop painting it this color because that brown crap from the atmosphere is really hard to get out of there. Stop painting it this color because we can't keep cleaning these. Oh, and I didn't do this. So I like it. I like how it looks. Have the other guys dress up as, oh, we already read that. You don't need to do, yeah, okay, I already read all those. Or you did, I don't remember. You did? Good job. Good job, sweetie. Good job, Star. You know you're famous around the world? Not famous, you're known around the world.
Yeah.
You've got fans all around the world. And they cheer you on, and they're chanting for you to blow up tanks and stuff. I don't know why this tail section is so much lighter than the rest of it. Something must have happened. Oh goodness, I've given her an idea. All right. Okay. So there we go. What's left to do? The blue. And you know what? I can do it. And the red. There's a little bit of red. There's a little bit of blue I need to do. Here's the question that I got to propose to you all. Do I keep going? It's probably like, it could take longer, but it's probably like 30 minutes of painting total for me to do. I just have to do, I got to do a little bit of blue here, and then here, and here. And that's going to need to dry a little bit. And you know what? We probably should, some of that might be wetter than I think it is. Excuse me. And then I think, I don't know what color I want to do that. I might leave that as it is. I might leave that. I might make that red. Big one leave as is. Little one make that red. Red and red for the smack lights. And this one has some rear smack lights too. So I'll make those red as well. Now the box art has all 4 of these is green. First of all, I've never seen a green smack light in my life. Second of all, I think green clashes too much with the rest of this. I gave a guy the green binoculars because binoculars being green makes sense on the shadow swords. And honestly, I didn't feel like I felt like it was out of color palette. I felt like it was out of place. I think I'll also make these cables red, or maybe I just leave them. I feel like these 2 cables could probably be a color. I probably should have changed them before I did them. And this is going to be black, this little guy here. So David's only here for Star. He has to endure Crown. You know what? That little guy got missed somehow. Double checking on this other side. Yeah. A little bit of stuff on there that's not done either. All right, do that and over here. Fix that up. Now the real question is, and we're gonna leave that. That's all good. Now these smack lights, I'm calling them smack lights, but they're probably position indicator lights, and I can't remember, but those might be green and red. So maybe but they'd be green on one side and red on the other. And from what I see on this picture, they are actually green on one side and red on the other. I'm gonna blame that on chemo. As to how I didn't notice that.
Chemo from K-pop Demon Hunters?
There's no chemo in K-pop Demon Hunters. You talking about Gino? Oh my goodness.
The Demon King?
Oh, that's the Demon King's name? No, chemo. Oh. Chemo is the stuff that I was on for poison. Poison for Crown. The poison chosen to kill Crown's cancer. Crown's chemo. I'm not doing that. I'm still not doing the green. Still not going to do the green. Still going to keep it the way it is. I'm going to keep it like this guy is, where it's red. I'm going to just do them as smack lights just because, even though the smack light would really be right here, but obviously there is no light right there. So, I mean, what am I supposed to do? So I'm going to paint them how I've been painting them. I feel like it looks better that way. So yeah. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to finish this off screen. I'm going to finish this off session because I got to wait for it to dry anyway, and there's only a little bit left. I'm not going to wait until the next week. I can, however,
I
somewhere
have defeated the carpet monster.
you've defeated the carpet monster. I didn't. You were at war with the carpet monster. Did the carpet monster try to eat a model? Ask him about the carpet monster. Try to figure out what he's talking about. I gotta grab something real quick. Ask him about it.
Did the carpet monster eat a model, or
Did what?
did it destroy a building?
I'm guessing he dropped bare plastic onto the carpet, and that is what he's referring to. And he has discovered something, but maybe the carpet monster is something else entirely. Good news, though. Hull Demolisher Cannon went pinging off. So when he clipped it, it just shot off like a rocket. I already have the bases for both of these guys. Come on. I swear these snapped in better before I started painting. Well, that lives there now. That's a pretty good fit, I'd say. Boom. That's one done. So I will finish these off screen. And next time we are going to be painting the Arvis Lighters. There will not be a battle report this week. I will do something else, I believe, for Thursday's video. No battle. There we go. We lost camera for a second.
If that happened to me,
Sam tried to call me.
it was the Emperor's
Wheel.
and
You've been gone forever. Thanks for the chat. Have a good one. Yeah. So what's going to happen is I'll do a video, but it's not going to be the video. It's not going to be a battle report. And I will see you all next time, where we will start working on something else. And I will probably have to try to fix that because that looks awful, honestly. So I will see you all next time. Have a great one. Thanks for coming in. See you next time. And for anybody else who's new to the channel and isn't one of these guys that's been talking to me, because I know they're all subscribed, but don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for flying by. Star, give them the send off.
Bye.
That's okay. Yeah, that's a good send off. All right. Bye, guys.